Oh no, we're not used to it. We're not film stars. We're not film stars, Kate. We're just ordinary people doing ordinary jobs. Yeah, we've lived in this house in Smallbury Avenue for best part of 20 years now, and it was a really run down house when we bought it, and there was so much work that needed to be done on it because it was the only way I could move from a 2-bedroom flat which we had. But we got there, but it took a number of years to do it the way I wanted it.
I was brought up in Twickenham by the riverside. My mum and dad were lovely parents. My mum was a librarian and my dad was a photographer. He worked for Vogue magazine and he was often away, so mum had to struggle on with us at home. But we couldn't wait for him to come home, as he was quite a character and really fun to be with. I wanted to be an artist. I really enjoyed painting and drawing, and that showed from quite an early age when I used to scribble all over my mum's walls and used to get the lemon curd and rub it all in the carpet and play with it. Maybe that was a bit of a dream. I realised that I had to earn a living and contribute money towards the flat we bought. So secretarial work was an option, good option. Quick money, I'm afraid, but didn't enjoy it at all. As time went on and I had 3 wonderful children that I really wanted children, but it got to the point where I could go back to work for a couple of days. I met a really nice girl at the school who had a little boy in Emily's class, Max, and she started to do some gardening work. Then a few years later she asked me to do some gardening with her, so I worked with her for quite a long time, realising that I loved every minute of it and wanted to do this myself when I returned to work properly. Sometimes it's hard work and you do get tired, but in the long run it's worth it because I'm working with nature and animals and plants. It's a wonderful job and I'm pleased that I'm actually doing it. Life's too short and you have to make the most of what you do because a lot of the time you do spend at work. So I decided to change, even though it was a bit late in life, probably should have done it earlier, but I'm pleased that I've had this time to actually do what I wanted to do. Good Christmas anyway. I'll see you in between. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. All right then.
Have a nice day, my little wifey. Give us a kiss.
Oh God.
Lovely little kiss. Did you miss me while I was at work today?
Yeah,
I just probably come home, have a shower, have dinner, and watch a bit of TV. And I think, that's, I like my football. I enjoy watching the football, and I think most evenings there's football on. But that's not fair on Mum because she doesn't want to watch football all night long.
To Nairobi, where he can get specialised treatment.
After an hour's flight, it's only a short drive to the orphanage.
But Saturday consists of going down to see my wife's mother, who I enjoy doing. We try to get her out on a Saturday, and we go and see her sister and brother-in-law, and so that tends to happen on a Saturday.
In my heart you'll always be the greatest love that I could feel, no gravity.
She's 92 now and she needs some help in her garden and different jobs done, usually her wine collected and bought. She lives in Dorking, which is a lovely place in the Surrey Hills, so we get the benefit of going down there and maybe nipping to the pub if she wants to go, because she's very keen to have a glass of wine normally.
What's that, a fiver?
All you can get for a fiver.
Was that a five or
No, I don't want to, honestly.
No,
Please.
no, honestly.
No, please, don't,
I
honestly,
would have
Bob.
brought you a drink if we'd gone out.
Oh.
Please. I mean, you didn't get your cider and I couldn't
No,
buy
don't worry
you
about
your
that. I can
pint.
get a pint later, that's not a problem.
Oh, I know you won't go without.
No,
but-
I'll have a pint later.
You were like a brother to me.
Yeah, I do quite like going to the Red Lion. It's a very homely pub and it's our family pub, I always think. And if Emmy, Dan or David are here, it's always nice to nip round the corner with them and have a chat and a catch up and a drink. Really drink very much now because I get very tired and I fall asleep, which can be a bit embarrassing. Hello. Come on then. Come on, Spivey. Come on. Come on, Spivey. Thanks, guys. Come on. Here she comes.
Well, I left school at 15 and I was 15 in the April and I started in the shipyards, which was, I was from a working class background, which meant, unless you went to university, which was very few people did in them days, and it certainly wasn't encouraged. It was more encouraged to find a practical skill, and I got interviewed, funny enough, to be a motor mechanic, and the garage actually gave me the job. But I had my heart set on being a joiner, and when I got interviewed in the shipyard, I was waiting for the letter to arrive, and about a week before I was due to start this job as a motor mechanic, the letter came through saying they accepted me to become an apprentice joiner, and that's what I really wanted to do. And even from that day to now, I've really enjoyed being a joiner, and it's something I've always enjoyed doing. And yeah, I was 15 years of age. I know it sounds really young now, but back in the day, it was just a normal thing to do because all my friends done exactly the same thing. They all went into basically either the building industry or the shipyards or the mines, working down the pit.
I saw the photograph.
That's 10 games, Ronnie.
It's ridiculous.
That's 10 wins.
Yeah.
They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the house before. I saw a film today, oh boy. The crowd of people turned away, but I just had to look.
Because I'm from a big family, it's been hard to take when, one by one I know in life people lose, at some point you're going to lose your parents. Of course that inevitably happens, but, I've lost quite a few members of my family over recent years, and that's took its toll on me emotionally. And I think if it wasn't for having Kate and me 3 kids, I don't know how I would have coped with it, because I think having 3 young children growing up in London, and all the financial worries of that, I just had to pull my socks up and just carry on and get on with it. But it hasn't been easy. It's been so difficult at times, but I think your mum has helped me immensely trying to get over that sort of grief of losing, it almost seemed like every year I was losing somebody, but I've learned by those experiences. Has it made me a better person? I don't know. I really don't know that. There's people out there, that's never satisfied. And I just think, well, what are they actually after in life? I think if you're happy in your life, then you don't have to be a multi-millionaire to be happy. You don't have to have the biggest houses, the biggest cars, the biggest this, the biggest that, the lovely holidays. I think sometimes the most happiest people are the people that haven't got any money at all. Do you know that? And they find happiness within themselves. So happiness and satisfied is almost the same thing in my book. I've known nothing else but work since I was 15, and I'm still working now, but I would miss it if it stopped tomorrow. But I think what's made me happy and satisfied is bringing up a young family in London, and all the trials and tribulations of that. But I've had some wonderful times with yous all, and I mean that sincerely. But it's been a journey, but a happy one. So, yeah.
In my heart you'll always be the greatest love that I could feel. Oh, gravity, stay